To Dr. Linda Papadopoulos and Nadim Saad, the co-authors of Happy Confident Me, Life Skills Journal. Good to see you both this morning. I mean, Linda, what is it exactly that children and young children have missed out on?
Like that, it's kind of all hands on deck. We wanted to keep everyone healthy and well. So sadly, mental health often falls to the bottom. And I think this is what Nadim and I wanted to address sort of very much with the book. You know, how do you make resilient kids so that, they have this toolbox. So the next time something that happens, that's a resource that they can go to.
Yeah, the resilience, Nadim, is an interesting point because, I mean, obviously, for some time now, there's been sort of complaints from the older generation about the sort of lack of resilience you see in young people now. I mean, is that something that we do need to address and provide children with resilience?
It's not just about toughness. It's also about self-awareness and realising what's important to us, what makes us happy. And this is what we teach kids through the toolkit, through our 10 key life lessons. So interoception, optimism, mindfulness, resilience, obviously, and also learning from mistakes. We call it the power of failure. So we make it accessible for children and basically summarize decades of research on well-being and happiness and confidence to make it accessible to children.
It's interesting, Linda, that I mean, this is all about empowering, at least I think it's all about empowering children to tackle this themselves because they've not had that wider group and sort of primary socialisation going on. How important is it with this sort of help to allow children to develop this themselves?
Look, it's hugely important. I think that all parents ultimately want to make kids self-sufficient in order to be able to cope with the challenges of the world. So, I think, as Nadim points out, this is sort of based on some really kind of years of sort of very good research that was often targeted in self-help books to adults. And we tried to do is sort of distill this down. What are the core messages and how can we make them as engaging, A, for a child to learn, but B, for a child to feel exactly, as you say, confident in using.
I mean, what strikes me from this, and Nadim, and the key issues that you're talking about here, it strikes me that if children do not develop this, I can't imagine where that leaves them as adults.
So true, Stephen. And actually, the reason I started developing these life skills is because my 8-year-old daughter was incredibly positive. I thought she would go through life without any challenges, and she went through a tough patch. And thankfully, as a parenting coach, I managed not to punish her, and because she was being very resistant and everything, and really had an active listening with her. And she ended up saying, "I hate myself." I thought, oh my God, it's incredible how fast a child who's actually seems so positive can turn. And I also saw this with friends, particularly in the pandemic, who had mental health issues. And so it happens to everyone. So as you said, it's so important to teach these social emotional skills early on in the family, but also in schools. So we have programs with schools, and they're seeing a difference in just a few weeks of implementing these.
I sort of think everyone in the country should be sent a copy of this. I think it might help us all. Nadim and Linda, good to see you both. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen.